Ladies and gentlemen of Ambazonia, and in that, ladies and gentlemen, I would add another category, a very important category, the Amber Boys. So, ladies and gentlemen of Ambazonia and the Amber Boys, we just came from listening to Paul Biya's dialogue speech that was given on the 10th of September 2019. I want to address a few points so that we listen very carefully. We want to listen this, what I'm going to say, very carefully, because we don't want to be childish and we don't want to be treated as an infantilized population. Okay? We don't want to be childish, and we do not want to be treated as a infantilized population, which is what the population of La République and the population of France Afrique is. This topic is so important that I have made some talking guides to myself, because I want us to be very clear about this. The first thing is that what is the strategy of France in the southern Cameroons? The strategy of France in the southern Cameroons is never to treat us as the legal entity, as the international legal entity that the southern Cameroons was, and as the legal entity that the southern Cameroon was supposed to be in union with La République. Okay, so France has never recognized the fact that we were a league, a mandate, a League of Nations mandate. Remember that when the German territory was liquidated and the British took its own part and joined as part of Nigeria, the League of Nations said, no, these are not your colonies, so you cannot make it a part of your territory. So in 1922, the British were forced to cough it back up and rule southern Cameroons as a mandate of the League of Nations, which, when the United Nations, which is a successor organization of the League of Nations, took over, they treated the southern Cameroons became a trust territory of the United Nations. Under the trusteeship system, under 76B, Article 76B of the United Nations, it was stated that the trust territories were to be guided to have independence or self-government. Nothing else. Those were the two. You need to lead those nations to have to their independent or self-government. That was the league. That was what any organization that was managing any of the mandate or any of the trusteeships were supposed to do. In 1958, the British reported to the United Nations that we were ripe for independence, and the United Nations actually voted for our independence. The votes are out there. They voted for independence. It was a competitive vote. The French contested to say we shouldn't be independent, and they brought the Francophone countries, including the La République du Cameroun, there to say that we shouldn't be independent, which was voting against the trusteeship agreements. I mean, La République du Cameroun was a trusteeship. The Southern Cameroons, among other trusteeship, these countries were to be guided to their independence or self-government. So they contested the vote, but they lost the vote. When they lost the vote, after that point, some corruption continued. That ended up with us where we are today. And so because of that, when you see the whole world in this our struggle has told Paul Biya, which means telling the French, that you have to dialogue with these people. You have to dialogue with the people of southern Cameroons in order to resolve their issues. And the one thing they don't want to do is they do not want to dialogue one-on-one with us, because that is dialoguing with us as equal partners, meaning that they are giving us a special status. They don't want that. They don't want to recognize our status as a United Nations Trust territory. They don't want to recognize they don't want to recognize that they lost the vote at the United Nations. And so Paul Biya, having tried to beat us militarily and failed, and has gone on committing crimes, killing children and women and civilians, burning villages, which are against international law, and knows that the international committee can come down on that. Now he comes and says, we will have a dialogue, but we will not have a dialogue with them. We are going to make them come to a dialogue as part of our own citizenry, because we don't want to recognize them. They are going to go bring part of their citizens who have no issues. They haven't complained that they have any issues with their government. You see, the citizens of La République were educated to be French slaves. So they do not think that anything is wrong with Paul Biya or the command system in which they live. You know, they don't see anything wrong with it. But Paul Biya say, you know what, we're going to discuss your issue, but we'll only discuss them as part of their national territory. So he is going to be the boss, and will have his prime minister be the one who listens and then decide whether they want to take your complaints or not. So that is the strategy. Even the Swiss talks that they're talking about. I just read an article by a Swiss journalist who said that even in the Swiss negotiations, La République du Cameroun has not admitted that there are any conversations going on in Switzerland. And so the strategy there again is to say, oh no, we are not negotiating with southern Cameroons. We are not negotiating with the Ambazonians. A whole La République will not be negotiating with Ambazonians. They think they are something. They think they are a state. They think they are in equal partnership with us. No, they are not. They are part of our subject, and so we will not negotiate with them. You can go and talk to them. You can tell them to put their arms down and come back and be part of our one Cameroon, indivisible. But we are not negotiating with them, and so that is the strategy. That is the strategy. It is the French strategy. You hear the French who say, "Oh, you know, they should have a dialogue about decentralization and all that crap." They are saying that you will not be treated as a legal entity that was supposed to come into a union with La République du Cameroun, a legal union, which was supposed to be a union of equal partners. That is what the UN-sponsored plebiscite stated in the two alternatives. The French do not want to recognize that. Remember, the French, Charles de Gaulle, said that Southern Cameroon is a gift from the Queen of England, and they are not going to relinquish it. So the people who are clamoring, the SDF, Cardinal Toomey, and any other person who wants to go and line up and sit in a so-called dialogue by La République, is going there as a subject of La République. The people of Ambazonia cannot be part of that, because we have tried to be part of La République, and all they've done is destroy us. Is destroy, and right now, we are the people forcing them to call this dialogue now, and we cannot then start backing down from our legal position and from our adulthood and from our own humanity to go and succumb to the whims and the caprices of the fascists who are killing us. We cannot do that. So the people going to Switzerland and the people who are preparing to go to La République du Cameroon, to their capital, and sit and listen to the Prime Minister of La République du Cameroon, first of all, those are not the people fighting. Those are people who the SDF has accepted their subjugation to La République du Cameroon. So has been Cardinal Toumi and any other person. If they want to go and do that, that's wonderful. But that is not what they are. And that's why I separated the Amber Boys. That is not what the Amber Boys are fighting for. The Amber Boys are saying that we are a legal entity. Our independence was voted at the United Nations. Whatever happened after that was a corruption, and therefore we want our rights now. Now, I got to say something else. You know, the French and La République du Cameroon are beneficiaries. They are beneficiaries they are beneficiaries of Southern Cameroons, because the British took Southern Cameroon's sovereignty and handed it over to them. They never came in with arms and fought us and took over our territory, and they can never do that. If they think that by this fighting that they're fighting us now, they can then take over our territory and say, oh, now we've conquered you in a war, so we own you. No. If somebody says you cannot break into my house, and he has his fortifications, what that means is that, and you do not break into that house. If he opens his house and you come and sit there and then suddenly pull up your gun, and you did not break into his house. You're an armed robber, you're a thief, you're a fraud. That's what you are. And that is illegal. So the question now becomes, who really is supposed to, who should we be asking our independence from? That independence needs to be coming from the UN and from the British. Those are the people who owe the Southern Cameroons their independence. It was voted for. I think Gojidinka has made that argument better than anybody else can. So if we are fighting La République now, we are fighting a colonial power that came into our territory, handed over or not handed over. We are saying that we are not a gift to be handed over by one person to another. That is our reason for fighting La République. So we have nothing to be negotiating with them. If they want us to negotiate that okay, you know what, we've been in your land for 57 years, we have taken over. Let's negotiate on how we get out. Yeah, then maybe that can be done, and then the UN will be free because we are free. Otherwise, the UN and the British owe us under law our independence. I mean, I just thought I'd clarify that so that because look, for a very, very long time, the SCNC had this motto. We said, the force of argument and not the argument of force. Obviously, in the world, the ultimate argument is that of force. Paul Biya brought that and lost. So right now, we need now they're trying to get us into a talking position right now, and we need to be very clear. We need to think very clearly. We don't need to be confused about what we are looking for and what we are asking for and who we are asking that thing from. We need to be very clear about that. I just thought I interject this because it seems to me that the people going to Switzerland are talking to themselves, or they're talking to the Swiss. And the Swiss have been instructed by La République. Remember, La République said, oh, if you want to go and talk to them and let them know that they are part of my country, then you can go and talk. And that's what the Swiss are doing. The Swiss are not there. Even though they're saying, oh, we are just referees, La République has not admitted anywhere that they're having a dialogue with us in Switzerland. They haven't. The Swiss journalist wrote it, I told you. So we need to be very, very careful. We need to think very, very clearly what we're asking for. Because if after we've lost our sons and daughters, after we've lost our women, after we've lost our children, after we've lost over 230 villages, we cannot be asking for anything other than what we deserve. And what we deserve is our independence. And that independence is not to be given to us by La République du Cameroon, but by the UN and the British. We can fight La République du Cameroon to get them out of our land because they are a menace to our lives. But those are not the people who really should be dialoguing about our independence. Thank you.